All right, today we're going to totally redefine the word investment. We're not talking about things that can just vanish in a market crash. Nope, we are talking about the kind of assets that stick with you forever. The ones that boost your income, your confidence, and just completely change the entire game. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let me ask you something straight up. If $1 million just appeared in your bank account right now, where would you put it? Seriously, just take a second and think about it. What's the very first thing that pops into your head? Now, if your mind immediately went to stocks, crypto, or maybe real estate, hey, you're like most people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the real, life-changing answer, that's what you see on the right. These 5 things: your skills, your health, your network, your mindset, and your time. These are the investments that actually compound and build wealth from the inside out. And you know what's wild? This proves a really powerful point. Some of the most successful people on the planet made their best investments when they had practically zero money. I mean, think about Oprah or Howard Schultz or Sarah Blakely. They didn't start with a big stock portfolio. They started by investing in the exact things we're about to break down.
So here's our game plan. We're going to tackle each of these 5 powerful investments one by one. We'll see exactly how they work and how they build on each other to create a truly successful life. First up, investment number 1, your skills. You should really think of this as a money printing machine that you carry around with you, right inside your own brain.
I mean, just look at someone like Elon Musk. Way before Tesla and SpaceX were even a dream, he was just a kid investing his time into knowledge. People say he read 2 books a day. While other kids were playing, he was digging into physics and engineering. You see, those weren't just hobbies. They were the fundamental investments that built his entire empire later on.
And this all boils down to one crucial idea: value creation. Look, you can work really hard digging a hole all day, but the world doesn't pay you for hard work alone. It pays you for how valuable you are. And your skills, your ability to solve problems, to communicate, to lead, to build something, that's what makes you valuable. And you know what? Valuable people are never out of options for long.
So I want you to shift your thinking. Instead of asking, where should I put my money? Start asking yourself this question: what is one skill that I can learn this year that will literally make me more valuable for the rest of my life? Maybe it's public speaking, maybe it's coding, or sales. Just pick one and pour your time into it. Because when your skills go up, your opportunities will always follow.
Okay, so once you're building those skills, we got to talk about what powers it all. And that brings us to investment number 2, your health. This is the engine that drives everything else. You can have the most amazing skills in the world, but if you have no energy, they just sit there.
I absolutely love this quote because it just hits so hard, doesn't it? We all have these huge dreams, but then we try to fuel the engine with junk food, no sleep, and tons of stress. We end up treating our most important asset like it's a disposable rental car.
And if you think this is just some nice idea, just look at the absolute best in the world. LeBron James reportedly invests over $1 million a year on his body, on chefs, trainers, recovery, you name it. Why? Because he knows it's not an expense. It's the core asset that allows him to do everything else.
But here's the best part. You don't need $1 million budget for this. Just think of it like this. Sleep is your charger. It's how you recharge your battery every single night. Exercise, that's like a software upgrade for your brain and your body. And healthy food, well, that's the premium fuel that makes the whole engine run smoothly. These little habits have massive returns.
All right, next up, investment number 3, your network. You've probably heard that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, it's a cliche for a reason. It is so true.
Think about the ultimate partnership, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Jobs had this incredible vision, but he wasn't the engineer. Wozniak was a technical genius, but he needed that visionary to drive things forward. Apart, they were brilliant, but together, they literally created Apple. That's the power of the right connection.
But hold on, we need to get something straight about what networking actually means. It is not about collecting contacts like their Pokemon cards. It's not about adding a bunch of random people on LinkedIn. Real networking is about building genuine relationships with people who challenge you, who inspire you, and who grow alongside you. It is all about quality, not quantity.
Okay, on to investment number 4. And this one is like the operating system that runs everything else. It's your mindset. This one thing determines whether you see a roadblock or a stepping stone. You want to talk about mindset? The story of Michael Jordan is pretty much the gold standard. I mean, can you imagine being told you're not good enough to make your high school basketball team? For so many people, that would be the end of the road. But for him, that rejection was the fuel that lit a fire for his entire career.
And that right there is the fundamental difference. When a challenge hits, a weak mindset asks, why is this happening to me? It sees rejection as a giant stop sign. But a strong mindset asks, what can this teach me? It sees rejection as feedback, just data to help you get better. That single little shift in how you think changes absolutely everything.
And that leads us perfectly into our fifth, and maybe the most important investment of all, your time. This is the great equalizer, isn't it? Elon Musk, Oprah, you, me, we all get the exact same 24 hours in a day. The only difference is how we choose to invest them.
You know that feeling, right? You pull out your phone just to check one little thing and suddenly, poof, an hour is gone. It just vanished. This chart is basically what that lost hour looks like. Time you spend scrolling and checking and consuming might feel busy, but it doesn't produce anything. Time you invest in learning something new, that builds your future. Because here's the thing you have to remember. Time compounds, just like money. That one focused hour you invest today learning a new skill can pay you back for the next 10 years. But an hour you waste also compounds into days and eventually months of regret. Your future is literally being built by these tiny choices you make every day.
So let's pull it all together. These are the 5 investments that will truly, fundamentally change your life. Your skills, which builds your value, your health, which gives you energy, your network, which opens up new doors, your mindset, which frames how you see the world, and your time, which is the currency that multiplies all the others.
I'm going to leave you with this one last thought, and I really want this to sink in. If you start making these 5 investments today, the results aren't going to happen overnight. But years from now, people are going to look at your life and they'll say, wow, you're so lucky. And you'll just smile because you'll know the truth. It was never about luck. It was about investment.